student access visit again, because you have a visit in the evening. For that, the bus will come there to the hotel. It will take you to the swing site, and the locals can go on their own. Or if you want, you can join them at the hotel. No bus will come here. Similarly, tomorrow morning also. From the hotel straight to the Ibn Academy. The locals can go to the Ibn Academy. Hakim Zulujamas. And then you can come here. Then tomorrow afternoon it's free.
At 9
to 12:15 here. At 9 you can go to the So who's next?
Okay, so everybody is here, so let us start now. The next presentation is by Professor N. Selvaraj from Warangal. His subject is also mechanical engineering.
Good afternoon, let me introduce first myself, Selvaraj, Department of Mechanical Engineering from NIT Warangal. I am working as a faculty since 27 years. Coming to my institute, of course, one of my colleague come friend. Yeah. Already given some prawns like some NIT Warangal. As it was established in 1959, first NIT or REC. Year 1959 it was established. After 31 universities, and we are having 12 departments, and we are having 8 UG programs and 27 PG programs, and right now we are having around 270 faculties out of 420. The 420 was Emeritus strength, and we are around 6,000 students, including PG. We are having PG 12 programs, including MBA, MCA, and MTech, and we are having around 700 research scholars. And of course, most of the PG programs are aggregated, UG programs are aggregated 2015 onwards, as per the Washington Accord. Of course, we are in the process of renewing all the accreditations, UG and PG. This is a brief profile about our institute. Coming to my presentation. Actually, I have planned such a way that it's coming under not only for the next level of my institute, if I get the chance to. This is also as an institute. For 10 years, I planned in such a way that it's 2 years, 5 years, and 10 years, and so on. There are certain things is immediate requirements, certain after 2 years, certain activities will be after 10 years and 3 years. So, from that point of view, for first one is our institute. I plan to go for self-settlement institutes. Why? Because nowadays Government of India is reducing the fund flows every year slowly, especially plan grants, non-plan grants, etc. So our indirectly or directly, Government of India are insisting to go for self-generations. So in the kind of view, concept, we will go for self-generation funds, the first priority. First next 5 years we have to do it. Further, we are spending a lot of money in electricities. You know, more than lakhs of money we are spending. So in order to reduce this money in the electricity, you will go for some kind of solar system. Of course, in our institute right now, there are 2 areas, residence area, hostel area and academic area. Hostel area almost we are established solar system. Now we are slowly bringing to the academic area administrative building also. So another 5 years, we try to fulfill the solar system almost all the entire campus, so that we try to reduce some amount of money, lakhs of rupees from the electricity. Of course, in water also, there are a lot of scarcity water in Warangal, especially in Warangal, because Warangal is a dry city. We need some water, especially in the recycling water and the drinking water. If we establish our own water plant, we can reduce the emission of the water. That is our next target. motivating the interdisciplinary and the multidisciplinary research project. Of course, nowadays there's only monopoly projects. Even government of India also all the R&D projects they are suggesting and they motivating for the interdisciplinary, 1 or 2 department or multidisciplinary activities. For more than 2 departments are involved. As per I am basically from manufacturing technology, so that in my area there are a lot of areas available for introduction of the multidisciplinary, like nanotechnology, composite material, generally is interdisciplinary of metallurgy department, materials department, physics, mechanical and so on. Of course, there are auto products, there is latest technology in the automobile engineering, so that we can plan some projects in this area also. Of course, there are 3D printing technology existing. So like that, there are so many multidisciplinary, we have to encourage the faculties as well as students, so they will get a lot of projects. Eco-friendly system, we have an entire campus, we try to get eco-friendly system coming years, coming over period of nowadays we know that lot of tests and lots of materials available in our campus, so that should be make it free, pollution-free environment in campus, especially clean and green grant, landscaping, especially plastic-free, so that our environment will be nearly free. People easy to live and without any health problems. Of course, I pointed out, government of India is slowly reducing the plan grant, so that we will go for self-fund generation. How to generate the funds? By approaching various ways. For example, public-private partners, PPP mode, through the alumni are available all over India and in the value level. Through them you can try to get some funds. And with industry collaborations, so there are so many industries coming to our campus for placement purpose, through which you can be able to get some more funds. And through consultants, of course, one of my faculties pointed out, recently we are started concentrating on consultancy, especially only few departments, that should be implemented almost all the departments, so that we will be able to get some funds from the consultancy. This is another idea. World-class research and consultancy center. Of course, we have to encourage the students as well as faculty to establish the world-class research centers by collaboration with world-class institutes or in the university for other abroad, through which you can encourage the faculty in the form of writing technical articles and journals papers and patent etc. Of course, this is a very important point. Though we are going for vision 2020 or 2030, whatever may be, first of all, you have to strengthening or modernizing existing infrastructure. That is very, very important. We have so many laboratories, we have nearly 60, 70 laboratory institute across the institute with different departments. All the laboratories, library, lecture hall, etc. There are 3 L generally used to common. Library, laboratory and lecture hall. This should be very, very strong in any academic institute. So first of all, you go to strengthening and modernizing existing laboratory with modern tools like latest technologies. Of course, this also takes some time, but still it is necessary. If you have modernize innovation, the present technology, present lab, so that we can be able to achieve in latest technologies. This is another important point, motivation supporting staff. Whatever, though we are having a lot of students and faculties who are all very interested in work, without supporting staff we cannot sustain, it become very difficult to run the institute. We are already aware of that one. Of course, in India, we have only 300 out of 700 sanction posts. We are lag behind of these supporting staff. Supporting staff, there are 2 kinds of supporting staff, technical staff and non-technical staff. You know that what the difference in these two. Technical is like our mechanics, idea holder, diploma holder, those who are going to run the laboratories and maintain the records and etc. Supporting staff like our administrative officers, like accounts officers and registrar, deputy registrar and so on. So both we need a lot of support. Then only they are able to, then only come the limelight of the institute. How to motivate those supporting staff? By providing some kind of awareness program, training program, or by providing some incentives, bonus or promotion, etc. In this aspect, you can try to motivate the supporting staff. Then only we are able to sustain the world class. Of course, collaboration with the foreign university. Generally nowadays, almost all the institutes they are thinking about these directions. Collaboration with the foreign university. Of course, last month also my director visited USA last 1 month. He visited nearly 8 to 10 USA universities and maybe some 1 or 2 MOU also. So in that aspect, we are able to get some funds as well as interaction between the research project here and there and course content here and there. Similarly, going to send some faculty students to the abroad to get the trained with the latest technology, cutting field technology. Similarly, we can bring some faculty here also. For example, GN program, one of the program very famous nowadays, through which we are inviting various international faculty to our institute, and we are conducting 5-day training programs. And the total so far around we are 80 GN program conducted so far within the last 2-3 years. Similarly, one more program called Spark program, through which you can send the faculty students to the abroad, where they get the training for 6 months or 3 months. They can learn these latest technologies available there, through which you can bring it to our institute. We can establish some lab, something like that. So through which the collaboration between the foreign university very much useful in terms of project, design project or dissertation work or research project and so on. Of course, this is very important one. MBA accreditations. Of course, just as said that in our almost all our UG program, PG program aggregated with 5 years, except 1 or 2, 3 years. That should be go periodically UG and PG program. Of course, right now in the NIT Warangal and the process of going for renewal of the MBA accreditations. Finally, training and placement, that is very important aspects. Though we are producing our curriculum is based on the outcome-based curriculum credit system, still we have to excel our student to outside the world. There are competition world. In that point of view, we need 100% placement. Of course, right now we are not able to achieve. Right, UG program we are able to achieve up to 80 to 90%, but PG is still less than 80% only. We try to achieve by providing some kind of group discussion or model interview or remedial classes. This classes from the industry, some scientists we can invite here. Because in the point of view, try to improve the performance of students so that we are able to achieve 100% placement in features. Finally, yes, it's a very important point of view, peaceful campus life. So we have to provide security, safety of all the employees and students, especially in our campus, because our campus is residence requirement. All the 4-year students or 2-year students, all the faculty as a guardian. So we should take care about their personal belongings as well as the personal life, especially in girls students. So these are some of the points I like to inform you. Right. If you have any clarification, please ask me.
Okay, any questions?
Thank you very much.
Okay. Yeah. Next is Professor S. Srinivasa Rao. He is also from Warrington and his subject is also mechanical engineering.
Good afternoon, professors in the chairs and my colleagues. So I am Srinivasa Rao. I am a professor in the Department of Mechanical Engineering at NIT Warangal. We are 3 faculty members from NIT Warangal, Professor Chandrasekhar, Professor Selvaraj and myself. And then Professor Selvaraj and myself, we are also in the same Department of Mechanical Engineering. So this is, I have changed the title, what I would like to see my institute as. So it is not like I would like to say that it is a teamwork. So it is the collaborative effect of all the faculty members, all the stakeholders in the institute, and then I would like to see my institute as this. So the present scenario, so you can see the history of this National Institute of Technologies. Earlier they were called as regional engineering colleges, which were mostly teaching institutes. So in the latest form, like in the NITs, now we are slowly in this culture of research also. So mostly working as a teaching institute, some amount of academic research. You can say I have not said simply research, it is academic research. And then a little amount of consultancy. And then most important thing, most of the government institutes, faculty are occupied with sundry administrative responsibilities. So most of my colleagues who are working in the government organizations, they accept this statement. Coming to the teaching, effective teaching. So there is a general feeling like the present scenario is changing like what it used to be in earlier days. The teaching learning process is not as effective as it ought to be. So there must, I think in my opinion, I have also worked in different capacities, administrative capacities. There must be clarity on the course outcomes. So before a teacher is interested to teach a subject, there must be clarity on the course outcomes. And then course layout preparation through peer group discussion. So it is not like I am given a subject like thermodynamics. I will go and then teach whatever I would like to say. So there are 4 or 5 faculty members in the area of thermal engineering. They all sit together and then they will prepare the course layout. So these are the important topics which are to be discussed, and this is the way in which you have to, this is the importance of the stress you have to give for different topics. If we prepare like that a course layout preparation through peer group discussion, all those faculty members who are working in that area of thermodynamics, for example. periodic feedback from the students. This is an important constituent in our teaching learning process. So we have to periodically collect the feedback. We may be thinking teachers, we think that as if we are doing justice for all the system. It is ultimately the students who have to tell whether they have got what the information they are supposed to get. So periodic feedback. Based on the feedback, we can revise our teaching learning process, modify our teaching learning process. Another important thing is tutorials and assignments must be made an essential component of this thing. You know, in the present day scenario of digital system, students are not copying down the notes like from the earlier days. In the earlier days, students used to scrupulously note down whatever we teach. Isn't it? Now, they say that after writing on the blackboard, they will simply take a photograph. They say that you send your PPTs to me, sir, I will read it. That is what is the scenario. So, in this process, what is happening is students are losing the practice of writing, doing things on their own. Even mathematical subject, numerical subjects also, students they say that we will copy and then we will do. That is not what it is. So, tutorials and assignment must be made. Maybe, I am telling it from my experience of engineering subjects. Maybe in other subjects may be different. So, tutorials and assignments must be made an essential component, especially in engineering subjects. And then continuous evaluation. Of course, we have already implemented this process of continuous evaluation. Another thing is, I think that open book system examination, maybe slowly, may not be in the immediate contest, maybe slowly we have to go to this system of open book system examination. Because we are telling that you need not remember, you need not by heart everything is available. There is a need for us to do, remember and then reproduce. That is an old, outdated system. So, if we say that open book system examination, this will bring out really the talent of the students, given all the inputs, how do we design a system in the engineering aspect. This is my opinion. And then at the end of the course file preparation, what all has been taught in the semester or year, and then what are the different ways in which we have evaluated the students. Another thing is academic audit. This is an important element in our evaluation system. Coming to the research, there is a general feeling that most of the research in the institutes is only of academic interest, because the faculty member, if you want promotion, you have to publish so many papers, you have to conduct so many R&D projects and then other things. So they are not having much relevance. So industrially relevant research must be taken up seriously. Socially relevant research. This is also another general feeling, like most of the faculty members, they are doing some research which is not having much social relevance. They are doing just for the sake of research. And then sponsored research. So the moment you say sponsored research, when somebody is giving you money, obviously they expect some outcome, they expect some results. You cannot say that I will be doing fundamental or fully theoretical, bookish academic research. And then, as one of our colleagues were suggesting, there must be incentives for research by faculty members. Consultancy, more emphasis must be given on industrial consultancy. So this is where we will say that India is having a large number of engineering colleges, technical institutes, and we have a large number of Indian companies. But still, even for small technologies also, we are depending on Japan, Korea, China. You see, small countries. The other day somebody was telling that even small pins we will be importing from Korea. Stapler pins you must have seen, made in Korea, made in China, made in Japan. So I think that there is a need, urgent need to have interaction between these things. So small problems from the industry, we must take them as industry consultancy. More industry academia collaboration. This is what is the requirement, urgent requirement. So this is based on my experience, administrative responsibilities for the faculties. Most of the faculty members, especially in government organizations, they are loaded, they are burdened with administrative responsibility, because we are not getting proper support from the technical as well as supporting staff of the government institutes. So for anything, the administration somehow it wants the job to be done, so they will be entrusting this responsibility to faculty members. And we are burdened with this. So I think that there is an urgent need to delegate the non-essential administrative responsibility to supporting staff. Wherever you think that this job can be done by a non-faculty member, it must be entrusted. And then there must be time limits on the administrative posts. So you cannot say that the same faculty member is to be burdened with more and more administrative responsibilities. So this is where we say when the supporting staff have to take the lead, motivation for the supporting staff, motivational programs for supporting staff, capacity development of supporting staff, and incentives for better performance. So coming to the students' projects, industrial projects must be given priority. The erstwhile learning concept is already there in some of the foreign institutes. Unfortunately, this has not picked up in our Indian context. So, in different levels, we have to introduce this concept of erstwhile learning. BTech, we have an 8 semester program right now. So, if we can modify our curriculum in such a way that last semester the student will be doing only project and then he can take up an industry project where he need not attend the classes regularly. So, he will have some freedom and then can do an industry project. Similarly, MTech 1 full year project, it can be an industry project. PhD also we have to take industrial topics. Then there must be periodic revision of curriculum. So most of you will be agreeing that the technology is changing in the outside society, still we say that we are following the same syllabus, same curriculum. Then you will find that the products of our education system, our students may not be immediately finding jobs. So the companies have to spend considerable amount of time in training them, orienting them to meet the requirements. So there must be periodic revision of the curriculum. Provision for introducing new electives must be there. Provision for e-learning through Swayam and MOOCs. Final thing is, as my colleague was telling, that day by day the government funding is decreasing, and then we have to become, that day may not be far away where government may say that you have to be self-sustainable. So self-sustaining of the institute. Periodic revision of the students' fees, that is what is required. Of course it is being done at the government level. Industrial consultancy, alumni and sponsored projects. So these are the different means by which the institute can become self-sustaining. Thank you. These are the different things I have.
Okay. Any questions from you? Yes.
So why instead of 8 semesters, why can't we have 9 or 10 semesters with 1 year spent in industry, in BTech?
Presently, the BTech system is a 4 years degree. If you say that it becomes a 5 years degree program or something like that, then you can say.
Because in US, a lot of places, now 1 year is in industrial training, besides spending 4 years in the...
But there is no fixed term in abroad. You can do it much faster.
Yes.
In the US you can also have 2.5 years also. The flexible system is there.
Here we have a system of BTech means 4 years, diploma means 3 years.
Number of years.
That is what is the system.
5 years.
This is just a
But
suggestion.
they
I
can
don't
complete the course as early as possible within 3 years, and 4th year they can do complete internship. So in that way, end of 4th year. Yeah, depending on the credit. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Then Professor C.D. Tomi from Mumbai. The subject is physics.
Take that one.
Yeah, but I just added something else which is not here. Yeah, I need a PDF also. So I loaded there some of the okay. Okay, so good afternoon to all. You have almost heard people, distinguished colleagues from state universities, central universities, private universities, NITs. Now finally I am the one who is going to give about IIT, because I come from IIT Bombay. Okay, so basically this my institution in the next 10 years this is the plan. I have just give a small introduction to IIT Bombay because then only you will understand what I can do there or what I cannot do there at all. And then goals for academic excellence and goals for research excellence. The problem with my task is that at present we are at the top of the food chain, okay? Especially IIT Bombay. And most of the things are working perfectly there. For example, somebody was saying that we need faculty recruitment. We have absolutely no problem. For example, when I was in a head of the department for 3 years, I appointed 19 faculty, in which 16 faculty joined the department, which means that that is the rate at which you can appoint the faculty. And then if you go to the administration, okay, yes, director is the head, but then we have 2 deputy directors and 8 deans, who will take care of everything with the head of the department, because each department is a unit, so whatever the decisions are taken by the department has to be respected by the institute, and hence there is no problem. As long as the department works properly, everything will follow. Effectively, we say that we have one faculty has to never see a director, because the administration is separated, divided into so nicely. If the thing cannot be sorted out at HOD level, it will be sorted out at the dean's level or at the deputy director level, because if there is a problem with the dean has to go to the deputy director and ask whether I can do that, or the DD has to go to the director and ask. The faculty never has to go run around and say whether it can be done and things like that. It's not my responsibility as long as that. So most of these things are actually optimized, both in the teaching, administration as well as the research in IIT. So that itself becomes a problem. So you know that even though we are autonomous is basically, the money doesn't come from the autonomous our side, it has to come from MHRD. But other than that, how you manage academics as well as the finance is up to the IIT itself. Before I have to go, what is my goal going to be next 10 years, I have to know what is the vision and mission of the institution. Okay? Yes, of course I can do some modifications, because these visions and missions are every year discussed and updated. Okay? So if you look at the IIT Bombay website, these are the visions given as well as the missions given. You can see that at the end of the day, the mission is very clear with the vision saying that when we have to produce useful students who will actually be good citizens as well as useful to the society. How they are going to be there, it is fine. So if I have to do anything within the institute, I have to work within this framework, or I have to change the mission with the support from the whole faculty as well as the stakeholders. So you can see that almost everything is included in that mission. Okay. Now, again, as I said, the problem with the IIT is that if you look at the students, the first choice for all the students, okay, you would have heard that the first 50 rank holders of JEE goes to IIT Bombay. This year we have 72 students out of the first 100 students coming to IIT Bombay. So the students have become the first choice. And the first choice for the faculty, okay, I'll just give you some exception for the natural sciences, because there are established institutions like Tata Institute, IISc and things like that, so people prefer to go there. But if you take an engineering faculty or many other faculty, the first choice is always IIT Bombay. And as I said, this incubation, MNCs, etc., most of the things, it is in a very good place, as I said. Teaching, administration, research, as well as whatever is to be done. As somebody was saying, we will make it as a green campus. Already our solar mission is working for the last 5 years, and we are producing something like 30 to 40% of the power for the institute. So all these missions, everything is done. We have incubation centers, we have research parks, etc. And all this we could do because of the autonomy of the institution, as well as the cooperation between the faculty, the director, and the stakeholders. Okay, so what is my first goal? Okay, when I go to an institute, what will be my first goal? Especially the institute is in the top level, I have to make sure that it doesn't go down at all. Okay, even see, typically my principle is that if you cannot do anything good, please don't do anything bad. Okay, so the first one should be that any person going to any institution has to make sure that at least you have to keep the standard which is existing there, so that nobody will say, oh, he came and completely destroyed the setup. Yes, of course you have chances for improving, so this is my first one. Okay, you have to improve on the core values, which is the enduring principles of the institute, which means that integrity, there is no compromise on that one because the ethics, moral values and the discipline, faculty, staff and the student, that has to be there. If it is not there, the institution cannot work properly and it will never reach the institute of excellence. Okay, excellence, accountability, transparency and empathy. Empathy means you have to take care of that because it's a government institution, you have a funded institution, you have to take care of different sorts of the people also. Academic freedom for the faculty. Okay, so when I look at the whole thing, there is nothing much I can do, but what I have seen is that some of the cases which I can include, which is not present, is there. At present, our system is STEM system, okay, which is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Every student can go through that. What is to be added and a new theme has to come is called the STEAM, which means that the art has